Now to the slowdown in the housing market, and perhaps the strongest evidence we've had so far that the boom years are over. House prices have fallen for the third month in a row. That's not happened for 12 years. Richard Scott is here. Richard.
Well, George, this does seem to be more evidence that the housing market is turning. The Halifax says house prices fell by 1.1% in November. It's the third monthly fall in a row, the first time that's happened since 1995. And if we put the monthly changes seen over the last year on a graph, then there's a pretty clear downward trend. And some think it's going to get much worse.
A £300,000 property I can see falling to 200,000. Why? Because we have a global credit crunch, which means there's no easy lending. Secondly, we have higher interest rates than we did have 4 years ago. And thirdly, the buy-to-let sector, which has been manic until just a few months ago, is practically dead now.
Prices, though, will have to fall a lot to make a dent in the recent rises. Just 5 years ago, the average home cost a little over £120,000. Now it's more like £190,000, a rise of more than 60%. And some argue there are key factors which will prevent big falls.
The economy is very strong and unemployment is very low. When we've had significant falls in house prices in the past, it's been because unemployment has risen very sharply and also because interest rates have risen very sharply, and those have forced large numbers of people to sell their property, and they've had to do so at a lower price.
Sentiment plays a big part in house prices, though, and today the Nationwide's Consumer Confidence Survey saw its biggest monthly fall since the survey began 3 years ago. The Bank of England now has a difficult decision to make tomorrow on whether to cut interest rates.
They're kind of damned if they do and damned if they don't tomorrow. If they do cut, they will be perceived of having changed their minds yet again. If they don't cut, they'll be equally liable to a charge of being asleep at the wheel, as the Treasury Select Committee said. That there's a serious situation unfolding and the Bank of England doesn't appear to be on top of it.
And interest rates will be a big deal next year. The financial regulator has warned that more than 1 million people will see fixed-rate mortgages end and that many will struggle to get a decent replacement. George.
Richard, thank you.